Hello, statistics students. Welcome to another video on the binomial model. We're going to be looking at how to visualize the binomial distribution. We've seen the normal distribution, and now we're going to be looking at the binomial distribution. All binomial models have the four characteristics listed below. But the list gives us flexibility in what n and p can be. For example, if we'd flip the coin 6 times instead of 10, it would still be a binomial experiment. The number of trials would be 6 instead of 10. Also, if the probability of a success were something other than 0.5, maybe 0.6, we would still have a binomial experiment. For different values of n and p, we have different binomial experiments, and the binomial distribution looks different in each case. Here's a binomial experiment that yields a binomial distribution for 3 trials and a success rate of 0.5. Notice how the binomial distribution is symmetric. We can read from the graph that the probability of getting exactly 2 successes, which would be 2 heads in 3 flips of a coin, is about 0.38, a little less than 0.4. And the probability of getting no successes, we see 0, is the same as the probability of getting all successes, 3. Something a little bit larger than 0.1, so like 0.13 or something like that. Now, what if the probability of success is not 0.5? What we see in this distribution is it might not be symmetric. Figure 6.33 below shows the distribution for a probability rate of 0.3, or probability of success 0.3, which means we're less likely to get a large number of successes than a smaller number. So the probability spikes are taller for the smaller number of successes, and now our plot is right skewed. However, even if the distribution is not symmetric, if we increase the number of trials, it becomes symmetric. The shape of the distribution depends on both n and p. So this is a binomial distribution with 100 trials and a probability of success 0.3. And again, notice that the shape is symmetric, even though p is not 0.5. So in conclusion, the summary of this video, the shape of a binomial distribution depends on both the values of n and p. Binomial distributions are symmetric when p equals 0.5 or the success probability is 0.5, but they're also symmetric when n is large, even if p is close to 0 or 1. And this concludes this video on the binomial model, visualizing the binomial distribution and how that distribution is dependent on the values of n and p.